Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever it is you're connecting from around the world. Welcome to this much anticipated session on how you can leverage LinkedIn as that go to platform to enhance your opportunity of landing that dream job. My name is Peter Bassi, and I am going to be your facilitator for this session. In a few minutes, I'm just going to share my slides and we'll delve deep into the presentation. But I want you to just tell me where you are joining the call from. All right, in the chat section. This is going to be a very interactive session. So just hop into the comments, into the comment section on your LinkedIn platform and just let me know your name and where you are joining us from while we get into the presentation proper for today. Okay, once again, welcome to this session. This is LinkedIn for job seekers, how to build your network and how you can advance your career here on LinkedIn as a platform. At the course of this presentation, we'll be talking about what LinkedIn is as a platform. We would also be talking about how you can build your LinkedIn profile, how you can also build your professional network, how you can network on LinkedIn, how you can search, apply for jobs on LinkedIn, amongst other things that you can do. Now, to understand social media, you first of all have to understand that every platform, every channel, right, was built for certain functions. So there was the plan or the idea in the mind of the person who built that platform as regarding how that platform will function. And I'll give you a critical example. Facebook as a platform was created to connect with your friends, with your family. The original idea in the mind of Mark Zuckerberg when he created Facebook was primarily as a platform for social interaction. So that's why you notice that a lot of people post pictures about themselves, about what they're doing, what their likes are, selfies and whatnot. So on a platform like Facebook, you want to write about things like that you like, you want to post things that you enjoy doing, and all of that. Now, when you look at another platform called Snapchat, you notice that Snapchat is very heavily dependent on videos. So you find people posting a lot of video content, what you call your stories on Snapchat, right? So you want to post things about maybe if you're trying to get the attention of people, right? You want to let them know that you are doing a particular activity or you're traveling somewhere or you're eating something. So like we have an example on the screen there, watch me eat donuts, right? So you want to post those kind of content on a platform like Snapchat. And then when you look at Instagram, right? Instagram was primarily created to share photos, to share memories, to share updates regarding what you're doing, right? What you are enjoying and whatnot, right? So that's why you notice that, you post pictures like, this is what I'm doing, this is where I am, this is what my experiences are, all those kind of very interesting pictures that you post on Instagram. However, it's very important to note that Instagram now as a platform has evolved from just posting pictures, right, to posting a lot of video content. With the advent of Reels, we had the CEO of Instagram come out to say that Instagram is no longer a picture-heavy platform. Instagram is now a video-heavy platform, right? So you want to keep that at the back of your mind when you are engaging on the platform Instagram, right? And when you look at other platforms, you have Spotify, you have WhatsApp, all these platforms were created to serve a particular purpose, right? and it's very important for you to stick to the purpose of that platform. Now, we've talked about other social media platforms. Let's talk about the reason why we are here, and that is LinkedIn. Now, when you approach LinkedIn as a platform, you don't want to approach LinkedIn saying, oh, I like donuts, or you're posting videos about you traveling or going on a trip, having fun and whatnot. When you come to LinkedIn, you want to approach LinkedIn with a very professional mindset. And what I mean by that is it's either you are posting content about you wanting to create your own business someday, right? So we have the example there on the slide where it says, I hope to operate a donut franchise one day. So that's the kind of content you want to post on LinkedIn. You want to post content, just like the session that we're in right now. You're out there, you're trying to job search. You are searching for a job. So you want to post something about you looking for a job, or the years of experiences that you have garnered. If, for instance, maybe you didn't just leave school, you have had 1-2 experiences working at certain companies, not just even experiences, even volunteer opportunities. I hear a lot of my friends say, I just left school, not able to apply for a job because I don't have work experience. And I always encourage them that while you are still in school, make sure that you engage in a lot of extracurricular activities, because in the end, these are opportunities that you can curate them into stories, and you can post them as the experiences that you had while you were on campus. I remember me personally, while I was in the university, I always knew that I didn't want to go through with the profession to which I was registered in. So I participated in a lot of extracurricular activities. I remember back in school, I did a lot of work with Unilever as their campus ambassador. I also belonged to a group called Enactors, so Entrepreneurship Action Us, just a group of students and industry leaders, student leaders, professional leaders trying to ensure that they utilize entrepreneurial action, right, to create change, positive impact in the world, right? And when I applied for my first role, those were the stories that I put out, right, for my employer, right? So those are things that you want to post on LinkedIn when you approach LinkedIn as a platform. Okay. Now, it's also important to state here that with LinkedIn, you have the opportunity to build your career to the limits. See, the only limit that you're going to have building your career is the limit that you've placed on yourself, because on this amazing platform, you have over 30 million employers currently on LinkedIn. And with that number, you have more than 20 million open job opportunities that are posted on LinkedIn every single time, right? And if you're saying, oh, Peter, I am here, I'm not really looking for a job, but maybe I'm looking for a mentor, I'm looking for a role model, I'm looking for an employee, this platform also enables you to connect with mentors, to connect with mentees. All right. You also have that, there are over 2 million, over 3 million right now, 3 million recruiters that actively utilize LinkedIn as a platform to fill up job openings every single. This is daily. All right. This is daily. So imagine that you have 2.8 million recruiters on LinkedIn every day, right? I believe that one job, that one role that you are trying to get, that you are looking for, is among these 2.8 million to 3 million recruiters who come on this platform every single day just to reach out to you. And if you are able to position yourself very well, position your personal brand, your professional brand, and put yourself in the best light, I believe that you stand a very high chance to get that dream job. Now, this is another very, very important statistics, that over 9 out of 10 employers today use LinkedIn during the hiring process. Now, what does this story mean? I'll tell you a very short story. In the course of evolutionary history, we have seen that from the Stone Age to the Iron Age, to the Industrial Revolutionary Age, from the invention of fire, to the invention of very complex machines, your computers and whatnot, social media. We have seen that human habits has evolved just as technology, just as the times, just as the season evolved, right? And with the advent of, or with all of us experiencing COVID in the year 2020, right? There was a remarkable shift in how businesses do or run their operations. Before now, if you asked your parents, is it possible that, I can stay at home with my internet connection, with my PC, with my laptop, and just work from home? Our parents would probably laugh at that idea because it would sound very ridiculous, right? But today, that is the reality of jobs. That is really the reality, and that is the future of jobs. You have young people living just in Yaba, in Victoria Island, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Enugu, in Kaduna, Ibadan, and working for companies all across the country, right? So that has created a shift in how businesses perceive employees, and it has also changed how employers look for employees, right? How employers actually put out their job adverts. If you ask our parents, before now, they'll tell you if you're looking for a job, you could search on the daily newspaper, all right? For those of us who are connecting from Nigeria, you would probably search the Sun, or one of those newspapers, Punch, right? All of those newspapers to look for jobs. But the reality on ground now is that 9 out of 10 employers now use LinkedIn, this social media platform called LinkedIn, during the hiring process. So that's why we have put this session together, all right? So that if you're looking for a job and you are looking on TV, or you're waiting on radio, or you're waiting on the newspaper for you to find that job, you are searching in the wrong place, okay? Now, in the course of this presentation, I'm going to be using certain terminologies, and we just thought it right to highlight or to explain what these terminologies are. But before we just go ahead in this session, I would want to know if the the feedback form is ready. If it's ready, let's just put it in the comment section. I think Abayomi or Rebecca, just put that form in the comment section. Let's just get to engage. So please, just once you see the link to the feedback form, just engage with it, put in all of the feedback, and then come back to the session, okay? Thank you so much. Now, while we're in the course of the presentation, we'll talk about, when you hear me say workforce, right? It's not rocket science. It simply just means people who are currently working or who are available to work in a particular company, okay? When we talk about connections, when you hear me say, oh, your first connection, your second connection, what I simply mean is your contacts. So people who just look at connections as your friends on Facebook or your followers on Instagram, right? But here on LinkedIn, they are called connections, okay? And when we talk about your network, for some of us who attend a lot of personal development workshops and seminars, you probably have heard that phrase that says your network is your net worth, right? So the network is just simply your community of people. So the community that you have on LinkedIn, that's what is called your network. And when I say your network is your net worth, right? Engaging in the art of networking is a very, very important activity. We will talk a lot about networking in the course of the session, but it's important for you to know that networking strengthens relationships, right? And it can lead to possible jobs offers for you as a job seeker, okay? So it's important to always engage in networking. And then when we talk about referrals, right, we just talk about people who can recommend you as a job seeker, right, for opportunities, okay? So it's very important to note that. Now, moving ahead, we talk about how you can build your LinkedIn profile, okay? Okay, so moving on, we'll talk about how you can build your LinkedIn profile, okay? And in building your new LinkedIn profile, we'll talk about how you can set up your account, how you can, what is the difference between your LinkedIn profile and the resume that you send out, and so many other things, okay? Now, to get started, I want to believe that a lot of us already have a LinkedIn profile. If not, you will not be joining this call. but just for the sake of the other platforms and wherever it is that you are watching this session from, it's just important for us to break this down and for you to be able to get on LinkedIn. Of course, you can download the app on Play Store. You can also download it on Android, or you can just visit linkedin.com on your PC and you fill up the form the same way you did with your other social media platforms. Now, let's talk about the difference between the normal CVs and the resumes that you share and your LinkedIn profile, and why your LinkedIn profile is such a big deal for you, especially if you are going into the job search season that is just about to start. Okay, now with your LinkedIn profile, you are able to speak with all your potential employers, right? And what I'm trying to say here is, usually if you see one job opening, they will tell you to send your CV, send a cover letter to this email. So you just sent that to only one person. All right. But with your profile, any employer at all can just visit your profile and get to know what you are all about, right? So that's one benefit of having a very optimized LinkedIn profile, in comparison with your resume. Okay. Okay. And then the second point is that your LinkedIn goes into more detail, right? So you are able to put more details regarding your skills, regarding your skills, your interests, your certifications, all of the professional certifications and exams that you have, right? The other point is that LinkedIn allows other professionals, other employers, like I mentioned, to connect with you, to contact you, right? To share information with you, and then you are also able to recommend people and get other people to recommend you as well. So, what is, after you have created your LinkedIn page, right? What is the next step forward, right? The next step forward is for you to get a great photo, right? And there are certain rule of thumb that I actually advise that you abide by when you are setting up your profile on LinkedIn, right? And one of those is, ensure that you dress for the job that you are looking for. You cannot be going for a managerial position at a company, or even if it's a specialist position or the head of a particular department, and you're looking tacky, right? Your hair is not well groomed. For the men, your beards are not well trimmed. For the ladies, your hair is not well groomed. You don't have some light makeup. I mean, just the idea here is, don't overdo it, but make sure that you are dressed for the role that you are actually going for. All right, because it what that does is, it sends a clear message to an employer or to a potential recruiter that this person actually knows what he's all about. Okay, this is not the time for you to put all those selfie pictures that you use on Facebook, or those selfie pictures that you use on Instagram and the likes. That's not the time for it. This is the time. Remember what we said earlier on in the presentation. This is the time for you to be very professional in your appearance, and then also use a background that is not very distracting. Now, somebody may ask me, do we go to a studio? If you can afford a studio, then why not go to a studio and get that professional headshot? But you don't have to break the bank in getting these photos. I mean, technology has advanced so much that, with your iPhone has such a powerful camera. And for those of us that use Androids as well, we have a lot of Android phones, Samsung phones, Google Pixel phones. The list is endless, that have very powerful cameras. So all you need to do is look for a very clear background that is not distracting, and take a great headshot. right? And someone may still tell me, oh, Peter, I don't own an iPhone, I don't have a Samsung phone or whatnot. Remember, we said your network is your net worth, right? Look into your network and find somebody who has a great phone, who is and just reach out to that person and humbly tell him, I'm trying to optimize my LinkedIn profile. Please help me take this headshots photo. All right. And if you're still at this point and you're looking in your network and you do not have anyone in that network, then it's time for you to start building a very professional network. All right. But I can't overemphasize this enough. Ensure that you get a very professional headshot photo that is crisp, that is clear, smile, have a friendly expression, and make sure that your face takes the major part of the frame. All right. Now, after putting, a beautiful headshot for yourself, the next thing that you want to do is you want to optimize or edit your LinkedIn profile. Now, someone may ask, how do I do that? It's really very simple to do. The first thing that you want to do is you want to add the location and the industry to which you are currently, working in. So, for instance, if let's say you live in Lagos, Nigeria, and you work in healthcare, right? You want to include your location as Lagos, Nigeria, and you want to include your industry as healthcare, right? So it's not rocket science. It's not very difficult. It's very straightforward. Put in your location, put in your industry, and what that helps you to do is, especially when they post jobs in that particular location, you will stand a higher chance of finding those jobs, than people in other locations. Okay. Now, the other thing you want to add is your work experience or your internship experience, right? So, like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, if you're a graduate, right, and you have been working for some time, you want to include your work experience, on your LinkedIn profile so that your potential employer actually knows what you have done before, right? Beyond the CV, the resume that you are going to send in, they have at one glance, the companies that you have worked for. And if there is someone there who says, oh, I'm still in school, I do not have so much work experience. I mentioned earlier in the presentation that while you are still in school, make sure that you volunteer. There are so many organizations on campus. I mentioned earlier, while I was on campus, I volunteered as the campus ambassador for Unilever Nigeria. I volunteered as the campus ambassador for Airtel's Tribe. I volunteered as a campus ambassador for Promasidor, Cowbell Coffee, Enactors. I was in Toastmasters to build my presentation skills. So these are the experiences that you should look out for if you're still in school, right? So that when you are ready, or while you are even still in school, right? I always encourage that you focus on your academics, but while you're still in school, you can still position yourself and begin to get these jobs by simply, projecting those internship experiences on your LinkedIn profile. All right. So whether they are internships, whether they are volunteer experiences, you want to include that on your profile. And then I also talked about education and certifications, right? If you are a young person and you're currently looking for work, you're looking to get a new job, I cannot overemphasize how important certificates are. All right. Look for certifications that are relevant in your industry. For example, if you're into digital marketing, look for certifications. You have Udacity, you have Udemy, you have all of these platforms. You have even LinkedIn Learning, where you can go through very curated courses. We also have the London Academy Business School, right? You can visit the website, www.labs.org.uk, right? And check out the courses. There are certification courses. We have undergraduate courses. We have postgraduate master's courses. We have MBA courses. So you want to visit the website, labs.org. If Abayomi, Rebecca, please just put in the website of the London Academy Business School. You can log in, just put it there in the comments section, all right? So you can click on that link, get there, look for courses that are relevant to the jobs that you are looking for, the certification programs that are relevant to the jobs you're looking for, and apply for those jobs, okay? Apply for those certifications. and also apply for those undergraduate, postgraduate programs. And it's even important to even note that, we run both online and hybrid programs as well for undergraduates and for postgraduates. We also have an MBA program as well. All right, so ensure that you click on the link to the website that Abayomi or Rebecca will drop right there in the comments section. Now, moving more into your profile, right? We talk about the headline. Now, I have seen a lot of people do use this headline the wrong way. And it really hurts me a lot of the time, because it's like you're really confusing your potential employer. And I'll give you a very critical example. So we have, let's say, James, right? And James has a lot of skills. A lot of young millennials, Gen Z, we are so passionate. We have so many things that we are doing. We are multi-skilled. So you would see, James say he's a real estate consultant. He's a digital marketer. He's a public speaker. He's an advocate for climate change. This same one person is a climate change advocate. He's also, an architect. He studied architecture in school. So he has 5 skills that he has, right? And he's trying to highlight all these 5 skills on his headline. Now, James will not get any employment. You know why? Because once anybody searches for James, it is difficult for them to know what he is about, right? You are doing so many things and you have it. If for instance, I am a HR professional and I'm trying to hire for the role of, let's say, real estate consultant, right? When I come on James' profile, of course, I see real estate there, but I see so many other things. What is the moral of what I'm trying to say? Ensure that your headline is brief, right? It's tailored to a particular industry. Now, I would show you in the next slide how you can tailor all of your other passions, right, to meet up, with what you have, right? But in the meantime, what you want to do is you want to focus on the industry that you are related with. Okay, so I just went to the chat and I'm seeing someone say their internet is not working. Please just check your internet. But so far you have registered for this session. A replay is going to be shared with you. But please just ensure that you stay till the end of this presentation, because we have a very, very special offer waiting for you. So please, no matter how difficult the internet is for you, get to a place where your internet connection is better, and just ensure that you stay till the end of the session. Another thing that you can do is please fill up the feedback form, okay? And also, if you have not registered for this event, just ensure that you register for the event, okay? So we talked about your subject line, and we said it's very important for your subject line to be clear. Now, when you want to write a subject, a headline, right? There are key questions that you can ask yourself. One of those questions is, if this subject line or if this headline, right, is the only thing any employer gets to see, any recruiter gets to see about me, right? What does it say about me? Okay? And the second question you want to ask yourself is, does this headline that I am using, does it represent my professional brand, right? We talk about how you can build your online brand, right? But does that headline represent my brand in any way? Does it capture what a recruiter will care about? Remember what I said. Does it capture what that recruiter? So you are positioning yourself for a digital marketing job, but your headline is reading real estate consultant, or it's reading climate change advocate, right? Does it capture what the recruiter is actually looking out for? Now, when you have worked on your subject line, the next thing that you can work on your LinkedIn profile, as far as it's concerned, is your summary, right? Your summary page. Now, this is where you now have the opportunity to go in depth and talk about the many other things that you are talented, in doing. right? This is the opportunity where you have to talk about many other things, okay? And if I mentioned, if you are good in public speaking, you're good in presentation, you're good in all of this, you have all of these talents. That's the time for you to put it in here in the summary section. So I have a sample here on the screen. Let me just increase or magnify it so that you can see what I have here on the screen. Now you can see this in the summary page. This is a summary page for a person who is working in San Francisco Bay, right? And you can see it here. I'm a dynamic speaker. I'm a program manager. I'm a social impact practitioner. I'm a diversity and inclusion advocate. So this is where, I'm a bridge builder. I'm someone who loves to bring together, disparate groups, ideas, communities, to create the programs and the systems that serve the greater good, right? So this is now where you have the opportunity to put in all of those other things that you are able to do in the summary page, not in your headline. Remember, the headline should be clear, it should be short, it should be concise, and it should talk about your professional brand in the best way possible, okay? Now, thank you so much. That was a session about building your profile. If you're just joining this session, this is a session put together by the London Academy Business School. You want to get into the comment section, and you would see a lot of engagement. A lot of links have been shared in the comment section. So please do well to click on those links. There is a feedback form there. There is also the website to the London Academy Business School. So just ensure that you get there, check out all of the courses. But the next session that we want to talk about is on how you can build your professional network. I remember when I started this presentation, I made mention of the fact that, your network is your net worth. So it's very important for you to ensure that you know how to build that professional network. And we will be talking about that in a few minutes. All right, so let's just get started. Now, do you know that over 50% of higher results come from a personal connection? Now, there are certain statistics that I mentioned in the last session. For instance, 9 out of 10 employers are actively hiring on LinkedIn. Now, beyond that number, right, statistics have shown that over 50% of hires actually result from a personal connection. And we will talk about what a personal connection is. Remember, we made some definitions of what a connection is. So a connection is basically just like your friend on Facebook or your follower on Instagram. So on LinkedIn, they are called connections. And when it comes to LinkedIn, there is what they call your first degree connection. And those are people that you are directly connected to. All right. So these are people that you sent them a connection request and they accepted that request, right? They accepted to follow you on LinkedIn, right? And that's just basically your first degree connection. That's what they are called, right? People who you connected with or people who connected with you. Okay. Now, in addition to just your connection, your first degree connection, so people that you connected with, you also have your second degree connections. And this is where we would now see the power of networking, right? Now, when it comes to LinkedIn, why I love LinkedIn so much for job search, unlike other platforms, is that even though you are connected with your first degree, you can also be invariably connected to your second degree second degree connection, and I would explain in a little bit. Right now, while I actually studied engineering back in school, right, and during engineering class we were taught a principle that is called Zeroth's law of thermodynamics, and Zeroth's law of thermodynamics simply states that if you have a body A, right, and you have a body B, and body A and body B are connected together, right, then you have an extra body C. Now, this is where Someone may be wondering, what am I talking about? Zeroth's law of thermodynamics. I've just noticed that some of those principles actually apply in real life, right? So you have body A and body B connected together, and then you have a body C that is not connected to body A, but it is connected to body B. Now, what Zeroth's law tries to state that even though body A and C are not connected, because body A is connected to B and B is connected to C, what that means is indirectly body A and body C are connected. All right, I don't know if that makes any sense, right? But I just remember that law, and I thought to include it here. So it works with networking. So what do I mean by that, really? So if you have, let's call this lady in the center, let's call her Annabelle, right? You have Annabelle here. Annabelle is looking for a job. Now, let's call this next lady here, right? Let's call her Jessica. So Annabelle and Jessica are first-degree connections. What does that mean? Annabelle sent a connection request to Jessica, right? So Annabelle and Jessica are first-degree connections. Now you have that Jessica also has her own connections, right? Her own first-degree connections. So you have Jessica here and we have Bob here. So Jessica and Bob are first-degree connections. Now, Bob works for Microsoft, right, as a software engineer in Microsoft. And Jessica and Annabelle are friends. Now, imagine that Annabelle wants to apply for a job at Microsoft, but she does not work. Now, remember, Annabelle is not connected to Bob. Annabelle and Jessica are connected together, so they are first-degree connections. Now, Jessica and Bob are also connected together, so Jessica and Bob are also first-degree connections, but Annabelle and Bob are not first-degree connections. Now, this is the power of networking. Because Jessica and Bob are connected together, what LinkedIn can help you do is automatically Bob now becomes a second-degree connection to Annabelle. So if, for instance, Annabelle was looking to work in Microsoft, maybe as a data analyst or as a digital marketing professional, right? Because she is connected to Jessica, she has a higher chance of getting across to Bob, who works at the company that she wants to work, and getting Bob to write her a recommendation at that company. Remember, we said earlier in the presentation that 50% of hires results from a personal connection. So we're trying to talk about how LinkedIn as a platform can help you to get a job, to be among that 50% by virtue of understanding how connections, first degree, second degree connections work. And that was why I was talking about that Zeroth's law of thermodynamics, where if you have body A, you have body B in contact, body B, body C in contact, it means that body A and body C, is possible that they, can be in some level of contact. So it works here as well in networking. So with the example, Annabelle having a first degree connection with Jessica, but not knowing that Bob works at the company she wants to work. But by virtue of the first degree connection she has with Jessica, she is able to reach out to Bob because there is a second degree connection. And when you look at it, that's how it keeps growing. And that is why LinkedIn is such a powerful platform as a job seeker. It's not like Facebook, where maybe they'll just say, oh, you are a mutual friend with this person, or like Instagram, or like some other platforms. Here you are able to build a network, right? You can see the first degree connection, and Annabelle's connection does not just stop with Bob. You see the third degree. So let's say after Bob, maybe this is Bob's this is the head of software engineering. Remember, we said Bob works as a software engineer at Microsoft. So let's say maybe this is Veronica, right? And Veronica is the head of software engineering at Microsoft. Because Annabelle is connected to Jessica, and Jessica is connected to Bob, and Bob is connected to Veronica, it's very, very possible that Annabelle, from that law that we talked about, is connected to Veronica as a third degree connection. So I really hope that we all see how the power of networking actually can help us in our job search as a particular platform. All right, on this particular platform called LinkedIn. Now, let's go into more depth on how you can actually use LinkedIn to network. Okay, now remember we talked about first degree connections, second degree connections. Now, this is Annabelle. Let's say this is Bob that we're talking about. Remember we said there was someone who was her first degree connection, and this is her second degree. Now, this gentleman, Bob, and Annabelle, they are not connections on LinkedIn. Remember we said second degree is you are not necessarily connections. You are only connections with the first degree. That's the person that you sent a connect request to. So this person is just someone who is related to your first connection. Now, because that person is a second degree connection, right? You can leverage on your first degree connection to reach out to your second degree connection. And this is a very practical example here, right? So this is Annabelle. Okay, let's say this is Annabelle sending a message to Dan. So she says, "Hi, Dan. I found your profile through our mutual connection, Rob. I am currently exploring career paths in the technology industry. I admire your experience and I would love to join your network." So this is the power of networking on LinkedIn. Remember, there is a first degree connection, right? And you can leverage the story here is that you can leverage on your first degree connection to get an opportunity with your second degree connection. That's basically what we're trying to say here. That by virtue, let me go back to my network tree. All right. Now you can see this is Dan here, the Dan that we're currently talking about, just at the lower portion of the screen here. And this is Annabelle. Now, because Annabelle is connected to this young lady here, she can leverage on her connection or on her relationship with this person and send a message to Dan saying, "Hello, Dan, I found you through a mutual friend who is my first degree connection, and I thought to connect with you because I am searching for a job in the technology industry. Please, if you're still with me and if this session is making sense, just go in the chat section, in the comment section, and just type 'making sense.' This session is making sense. This session is making sense, so that I can know that you are still with me on this connection. And if you're just joining the call, this is a training put together by the London Academy Business School, and it's just tailored at you, helping you to get your next job using LinkedIn as a platform. All right, so that's just what I'm talking about here, the power of networking. So by virtue of Annabelle being connected to this first degree connection, she can now send this message that I have on my screen. Let me just zoom in so that I'm sure that you are able to see what I'm presenting. So by virtue of this connection with Dan as a second degree, she's able to send this message saying, "Hi, Dan, I found your profile through our mutual connection, Rob, and I am currently exploring career paths in the technology industry, and I admire your experience. I would love to join your network." All right, so I hope that you learned something about the power of networking. Okay, now apart from sending networks, you can actually discover existing connections. Now, why LinkedIn as a platform is so powerful is, and I tell my friends, I say, when you go to an event, right, and you meet with some of the speakers, right, all of these personal development events, events related to advancing your career, right, you can just get the names of the speakers that you admire, the names of the people that you will not really meet on a daily basis, like CEOs, top CEOs, entrepreneurs, right? Founders of top, the Forbes list or Fortune 500 companies. You just get their names, and then you come on LinkedIn and search. Now, these people may not necessarily be able to communicate with you on a daily basis, maybe by virtue of the position that they actually occupy in their companies, right? But you can get their names and search for them on LinkedIn and send them LinkedIn connection requests. And I always encourage that when you are sending a LinkedIn connection request, especially when you are trying to look for a job in that company, right? Do not just send direct connection request. There is how you can send a personalized note, just like what we had here. All right. I always encourage you, go the extra mile. Don't just send a connection request. Put in a personalized note. There is where you can click on, while you are clicking on that connection request, you will be told send a personalized or a customized message. And then you send in the customized message and you just do a basic introduction. Hello, this is who I am. I met you at this conference, or you were a speaker at this particular conference, and I really admire your career growth. Could we connect? Could I join? I would love to join your network. All right. So one of the things that would help you is going the extra mile in your job search by putting that message. Don't just place the connection and then you just leave. Personally, I don't even accept connection requests that the person has not sent a message, because I'm very intentional. Look at that power of networking, where the first person you can connect to the second person to the third degree connection. So I'm very intentional about the people who I connect with, because I only want OQP. I use the principle when I'm networking. I use the principle of OQP. And what does that mean? Only quality people. All right. So if you do not send me that, if you do not go that extra mile and you send that I will not take you serious. I will not see you as a quality person, because you didn't go that extra mile. So I always advise from my own personal experience that go the extra mile when you search for the person that you want to connect with, whether it's the HR of the company that you want to join. Ensure that you drop a personalized note. Okay. Now, apart from doing that, the next thing that you want to do, like I mentioned, you can always search for connections. So you can search on LinkedIn by either the name of the person you're looking to connect with, or you can search by virtue of the company that the person works with, or you can search by virtue of location, by virtue of keywords. So those are the different ways that you can actually put up your you can actually search for people that you want to connect with. And like I mentioned, this is what I was talking about, just to buttress on the importance of sending a personalized note. So when you search for the person you're looking for, either by his name, by virtue of the company that the person works for, or by virtue of certain keywords, right? Do not just hit that connection button and you think that is all. You have nothing else to do. You just wait for the person to send you that connection, to accept your connection request. Please and please go the extra mile. Put in a note. Say, hi, the person's name. This is where we met. You were a speaker at this conference. We met today, and I would love to keep in touch. I would love to join your community, or to join your connection. All right. Thank you. All right. And then send that invitation, and you would find out that that person will actually accept your profile, right? And then, in expanding your network, of course, what you may ask yourself, who should I reach out to on LinkedIn? So, Peter, I'm looking for a job. You talked about networking. You talked about us expanding our network. How do I get started? Who should I look out for? It's very simple. What are your goals? If you're looking for a job, you definitely want to reach out to the people who work in the company that you are looking for, right? So it's either the HR. You may not reach out to the CEO, maybe because they are busy, they don't have time. But from my own experience, a lot of CEOs are always active on LinkedIn. The same way you are on LinkedIn trying to get your next job, that's the same way some CEOs are always on LinkedIn looking for their next business opportunity. So you can reach out to them. You can reach out to HRs. You can even reach out to employees of that particular company. Remember our statistics. 50% of employment comes from recommendations, right? So reach out to the company, reach out to the people who work at the company, right? So those are the kind of people you want to reach out to, people who you have something in common with, right? That's how you build your network. 2, you want to reach out to people who have a job or who work at the company that interests you, all right? 3, you want to reach out to people who can connect you to somebody. Remember that network, right? So even if maybe they don't work at that company, but maybe they have a network that can connect you to somebody who can help you get that job you're looking for, right? These are the people you should be connecting with. You should not be connecting with your family. You have Facebook and Instagram to connect with your family members. You should not be connecting with your maybe you can connect with your friends just for the sake of connections, right? But you should not be connecting with strangers. I've had people who they just got on LinkedIn and they are just they're just adding anybody as their connection. No, that's not what you should do. Look at your goals, right? What company do you want to work? Where do you want to be? What job are you looking for? And connect with people who share something in common with that particular goal. Connect with people who have the job, who work at the company. I cannot stress this enough, right? One of the strategies for job search is by connecting with people who are working in the company that you actually work for. All right. So connect with those people, even if it's the HR, even if it's they work in IT, they work in sales, they work in business development. Connect with them, tell them, hello, this is who I am. I'm currently looking for a job in your company. Are you willing to maybe connect with me so that we can talk about the opportunities? Like, just introduce yourself, all right? And that's how those are the kind of people that you want to connect with. And then the next question now is, what should I say? So I have given, at this point, you should know what to say. I've given so much examples, right? So just who you are, keep it very short, keep it very simple. Tell the person who you are, your name, how you came across their profile. Maybe you can say, oh, I was looking for job opportunities at this company, or I was searching for somebody who works at this company and I saw your profile. Then go straight to tell them how you can help or how they can help you. Please and please don't go and send a connection request and you just say hi. What is hi? I have been on LinkedIn and I've had people send me connection requests and they just said hi. And I'm like, okay, what's next? After hi, what next? And a lot of people do this on social media and it is wrong. It is wrong. You should not just go into somebody's DM and then you tell the person hi, right? Introduce yourself. Who are you? Put your name there. How did you get my number? Or how did you get my profile? Or how do you know who I am? Tell them this is where you saw them. You saw them at an event, you were searching for a job or a company and you saw that they work at that company. Then how can they help you? Then you go ahead and you tell them how they can help you. All right? And in a few minutes, we're coming to the end of the session. In a few minutes, we will conclude this session. But before we conclude this, it's important that I make a very important announcement. Like, we know this session is just an hour, and we cannot, as much as we want to, but we really cannot share everything in this session. But do not be worried or do not be discouraged. We actually have something for you, especially as it concerns, as it regards job search. So we actually have a session that is well curated for you, and this session is going to be a 2-day program. It's called Career Pro. Okay, just let me know that you can see the flyer on the screen. I've just shared it on the screen. So it's a 2-day Career Pro program. And what are we going to be doing in this session? We are going to be spending 2 days with experts, right? Experts in the field of HR, experts in the field of social media. Myself, I'm going to be there. You would still see me. What we would be doing, we would be teaching you how you can craft your personalized career plan. Please let me know that you can see the flyer on the screen. We'll teach you how you can craft a career plan. So for some of you who you say, I am stuck, I don't know what's next to do, all right, with my career, I don't know what is the next step for me. We will teach you how you can craft your plan. We'll also teach you how you can use social media for professional branding, right? So there is this thing about your personal brand, how people perceive you online. There is so much about perception and how you can get your next job. And we'll teach you how you can use social media, how you can use the power of perception to get your next job. We'll also teach you how you can craft your resume. All right. See, a lot of people do a lot of wrong things. I've been privileged to sit on certain admission or certain recruitment boards and have resumes sent to me. And I look at those resumes and it's terrible, right? It's so terrible. It's so difficult. You don't even know what the achievement of this person was. You don't even know he has so many different experiences, right? Like, a lot of people are doing their resumes, their CVs the wrong way. And in this session, we will help you correct that. We would also go into more depth on LinkedIn, right? This session, I just used the PowerPoint to just present to you. But in the session that we will be having on the 15th and the 16th of December, I will go through profiles individually, right? We'll look at your individual profiles and see how we can improve and optimize your profile. We'll also teach you how you can ace your interview questions and how you can always build a growth mindset. See, I don't know how much to say this, but please, if Yomi and Rebecca are in the comment section, let them put the link to Seller, right? This course is just going to be 10,000 naira. It's valued at a lot if you get to see the many things that you are going to benefit. And it's going to be 2 days. It will be one-on-one. Like, we will not put you on a LinkedIn live session. Like, it's going to be a very closed group where we will use a lot of our experts, our HR experts, our CV experts, our LinkedIn experts, and myself to put you through how you can craft your CV, how you can craft a personalized career plan, how you can leverage LinkedIn some more. Please do not miss out of this opportunity, all right? Please, Yomi, Rebecca, put the Seller link in the comments. Click on that if you want to join now, right? You just go ahead and click on it and say, Peter, I want to join this session, and just pay. It's just 10,000 naira. I think it's almost around $10 ish. If you're connecting from outside Nigeria. For those of you who are in Nigeria, it's just 10,000 naira. And please use the link there on the screen, seller.co/F07A1Q, and make your payments. You would receive a confirmation email and a link to register for that particular session. Please and please. This is a period. December is that period where a lot of companies are putting in their budget for planning for the next year, and HR is always one of that departments that people are very, very interested in. And I have noticed from experience that people get jobs a lot from December through January and February. I'm not saying that you will not get jobs for the rest of the year, right? But the month of December, the month of January, the month of February is always the best time for you to position yourself for a job opportunity. So please and please do not miss this Career Pro session. It's going to be for 2 days. It's going to be a workshop. It's not going to be just a LinkedIn live session like this. It's going to be a workshop for job seekers, a workshop for career professionals. So if you can take a screenshot of this so that you can check it out later, but you can also follow the London Academy Business School on LinkedIn, and you will see the post. And for those of us who also registered for the program, we can also, you can also see, we would send you emails about this particular session. So please make sure that you do not miss out of this very interesting, very impactful session. All right. So I've seen that Abayomi has put in the Seller link there. So please just ensure that you copy that link, put it on your browser, and you start to register for that program coming up on the 15th and the 16th of December. All right. So let's just conclude on our session for today, and we can call it today. But please ensure that you follow the London Academy Business School. Bayomi, please put the London Academy Business School website as well. Remember, we said certifications, education. I mentioned we run undergraduate programs, we run postgraduate programs. We also run certification programs. So please just ensure that you put in fill in your interest and follow the easiest way is just to follow the link, the London Academy Business School LinkedIn page, so that you can get this value. All right. Now, we've talked a lot about how you can use your network. Time is fast spent. We'll just quickly talk about the fact that LinkedIn members are 9 times more likely to get hired when they get referred. So this is the power of referrals, the power of your network on LinkedIn. All right. Do not just get on LinkedIn to connect with your family members. All right. Be very intentional about your network, who you connect with on LinkedIn. Okay, and this is a sample. So if you're trying to, this is just a sample. We'll talk about this, and then we would call it a wrap for the day. So this is a sample way that you can ask for interview and for information. Okay, so remember, I always say put in a personalized message, and we have a sample here. So this is Erin. Erin King works as the brand's communication director at Reunity, and this is Kate looking for a job, and she puts this message: "Hi Erin, I'm currently exploring careers in communication and I admire your experience and your accomplishments in the industry. I would appreciate the opportunity to learn about your career journey. All right. Would you be available for a 20-minute chat over the phone or in person in the next few weeks? I look forward to hearing from you." So please, if you have not gotten anything from this session, please understand that sending a personalized message gives you 10 times more chance of getting an interview or getting the HR to look at your application than somebody who does not do that. Okay, and that would be it. So we have come to the most important part of this presentation. Please ensure that you take a screenshot on your phone and make a post about 1, 2, 3 things that you have learned. Make sure you mention the London Academy Business School in your post, right? This is a very important session. Please take a screenshot, and just take a screenshot, go on your LinkedIn profile, and just make a post about 1, 2, 3 things that you have learned from this session, and mention the London Academy Business School, right? We will love to hear from you. Okay, so we would love to see your feedback. So please mention the London Academy Business School in the post that you have made. And if we see that mention, we would also repost it on our page so that you can also see, because our page actually has a lot of attraction from people in the UK, in Dubai, in Australia, and so many parts of the world. So take a screenshot of what you have learned and make a post about what you have learned. Mention the London Academy Business School in your post and post that, and we will repost it as well. All right. But I'm just going to, just for those of us who may probably just be joining the session, I'll just briefly talk about that session that we have again. It's also important to note that we actually are also affiliated with the University of Sunderland. So all of the undergraduate courses, the postgraduate courses that you will see on the website. Abayomi, I think what you should do is just put all the links. So both the London Academy Business School website, so the labs.org.uk, and the seller link, just put it in one post, and the feedback link as well. So you can just do London Academy Business School website, put the website, then you can do the feedback form, put the website, then you can do the seller link for our course in December, and then you put the link and just put it there at once so that anybody who missed the earlier links, they can also see the other links. All right. But I'll just quickly emphasize again, maybe for those of us who are just joining this session, I'll just emphasize the session, the Career Pro session that we have. You would see a lot more of this session, maybe on our posts. So ensure that you are following the page. But apart from that, you would also receive emails. You would also receive some emails. Some of you received reminder messages from some of our the staff members, right? But however you receive this, just know that this session is happening in December. We'll teach you how you can craft a personalized career plan. So if you're here, you are confused as to what next regarding your career. So somebody may be saying, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. I do not know. I am stuck in my career progression, right? In this 2-day job mastery masterclass, we are going to help you craft a personalized career plan. We will also help you to learn how you can use social media for your professional brand. And we'll also teach you how you can craft your resume. Like I mentioned, a lot of people are getting CVs the wrong way. A lot of people are writing their CVs the wrong way, right? It is not wise for you to keep doing the same things and expect a change, right? I'm even looking forward to the first people. In fact, I'll just say this out there. The first 10 people to register today will get a very, very special package from the London Academy Business School. Very special package. If you register from now until 12 noon tomorrow, right? So in the next 24 hours, the first 10 people, or I don't know, should we maybe increase it to the first 15 or the first 20, but let's make it first 10 people to register for this session, right? Just go on the seller link, seller.co/F07A1Q, or check out the link, London Academy Business School page. I would just ask that maybe we can just post it already on the LinkedIn page, right? And just make payment immediately. If you're waiting for, it's the week where you're going to, your friends or whatever it is are going to send you some funds, like just find a way to register. I just can't emphasize it enough. Please find a way to register for this session. Don't miss it. I will be there live. You will have a lot of experienced HR representatives really just help. And it's for a token. I mean, most of these things, the people charge $100, $1,000, $3,000 for this, right? We're talking about your job, we're talking about your career here, right? I don't believe that this is so much, and this is probably the lowest price. The next time you may see this flyer, maybe we may increase it to a particular price, but for the sake of this session and you attending this webinar, that's why we've said we'll put it at this giveaway price of 10,000 naira or $9, wherever it is you're connecting from. So please ensure that you register, that you make your payments. When the emails come in, you make your payments on the seller link, and we will reach out to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this session. Like I said earlier, I'm just going to share the presentation slides, and we just want you to take screenshots, right? Just take a screenshot, make a post of what you learned from today's session. I want to believe that it was such an informative session for you. It was not just a session, a boring session. I see so much engagement in the comment section. I see Grace say this session makes sense. Mary, Jide, I'm shouting out to you. Stephen, Tunbi, Musa, Gloria, Nafisat. I see Judith, Yakub, Chidima, Wole. I'm just shouting out, right, so that you can have the opportunity to take that screenshot and say, this is what I learned today, and make sure that you tag the London Academy Business School, okay? I see Nafisat, Mary Edet, I see Musa Success, Thomas, I see Musa Clara, this is Josephine. I see Ikechuku connecting from Birmingham. Hello, Ikechi. Okay. I see Oyeni from Lagos. Jide. I see Grace as well. Hello. Thank you so much for joining this session. If you had a great time, just go in the comment section and say, I had a great time, and I'm going to shout out to you. All right. So we are actually done with the session. I'm just spending time so that you can get your screenshots and make your post on LinkedIn. Also take the opportunity to follow the London Academy Business School on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on all social media platforms. Also visit the website as well, www.labs.org.uk, and that will be all from me. I want to believe that we are done taking our screenshots and we're ready to make our posts. So if you're done, please just let me know that you're done, and let me just share the course. Okay, I had a great time. Thank you so much, Mary, for that. So let me just share the flyer, and we have that, and we wrap up the session. Thank you so much. So the next screen you'll be seeing will be the screen for you to for the session, the Career Pro session in December. So please just ensure that you check that. So that will be up for like a minute or two, and then we would close the session. All right. Thank you so much, and that will be all from me. I also want to shout out to our CEO. You probably saw him in the chat section, Dr. Larry Jones Esson. That's the founder of the London Academy Business School. I also want to say a big thank you to all of the staff members of the London Academy Business School, in terms of Mr. Kingsley, Mr. Charles. Abayomi has been very active in the chat. You may have seen his messages. I want to shout out to him, Rebecca, Dr. Tunde, everyone at the London Academy Business School, Itohan, every single person that joined, that made this session a success. Thank you so much, everyone who also joined in, and have a lovely day. Take care and bye-bye.